Testing. I'm gonna do this shit the right way. We're gonna do this shit all the way the right way. Shout out to anybody in the building, if there's anybody in the building. Let's get it. Let's go. How's everybody feeling this morning? That's the first thing. How's everybody fucking feeling? I feel fucking great. How's everybody feeling? Once again, that's the first thing. We gotta let it populate. But for those that's in the building, how's everybody feeling, man? It's another day. It's motherfucking Memorial Day. Let's turn all the way the fuck up. Let's turn smack all the way up. I got my headset on, so I don't know if y'all can really hear me too proper. So y'all gotta let me know what time it is, man. So y'all gotta let me know in the chat what time it is, man, if y'all can motherfucking hear me out there. Edgar Riviera Zamora, salute. Troy Graham, salute. Martin Machine, salute. All the constables, salute. Oh my God. We almost officially back to business, man. It's time to get back to work, man. No days off, man. Let's keep our foot on their necks, man. Let's keep our foot on the gas, man. It's back to boxing, man. Enough of the bullshit, man. Quarantine life is pretty much almost over. Not really for me. I don't care what the rest of the world doing. But I'm just saying, let's get back to work. I just gotta know, has anybody ever in life heard of a motherfucker wanting to retire after they took a L? Not only a L, but they first L at that. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that before. That's a whole different new type of loser right there. For real, I'm fucking sad for you, bro. Like, I feel bad for you. Like, I really feel bad for you. If you could really contemplate or consider hanging up gloves because you take your first L, dog, I really feel bad for you. I feel sad for you. I mean, I already knew that it was never for you in the first place anyway, but for you to want to hang up the gloves after you take your first L, bro, I mean, shit, you wouldn't be doing nothing but doing me a favor. I mean, shit, let's cut the cancer out of boxing anyway. That officially needs to be done anyway. All the cancer in boxing needs to just be all the way cut out, eradicated. So if that's what he want to do, if we want to hang him up, but at the end of the day, bro, I got to let you know that you a whole new type of loser. You know who you are. It's a fact, man. Cruz, what's good? Phil Volantis, what's good? He probably is. He probably at Planned Parenthood right now, picking up his prenatal vitamins. He probably got marital classes and all that. What they call them shit, them little classes they be going to and shit. Breathing classes. He going to breathing classes. He's doing a whole lot right now. But the one thing that ain't on your mind as a man, bump boxing, man, in life, bro. In life. When you fail, don't you wanna try to achieve like beyond your failures? You want to get that back. Like, okay, you fall down, like it goes back to day one. You had to crawl before you could walk. And if you freaking fail, what they tell you, you dust yourself off and you pick yourself back up again, buddy. That's a fact. This motherfucker don't even want to try, man. They don't even want to try. That just goes to show you news and all the ping pong bullshit back and forth, man. Like, if you a fan of this guy, because you know there's those who like to come through this fan of this guy, you still invested? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Shame on you. Bad shit crazy. What's good? How you invested in that type of product? Yeah. Then you got Frank Warren running around. He out here, oh, I'm about to chop him up real nice. I'm about to do him real good. I'm about to hibachi his ass. Talking about he doubt that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua want to fight or something like that, but this is the same person on Boxing Social who will come out and say that, oh, you know, that they tried to do the fight with the 50 million with Anthony Joshua, and they tried to do it, and they tried to, you know, put it on through BT Sports, but you know he contracted with Scott. Now, either, you know what I mean, they trying to say we a whole different, he's either trying to say that the people are a whole new type of stupid, or he's that fucking dumb. So obviously you that dumb because you already know this man contracted. So what games are you playing? So if I'm going to listen to that article, if I'm going to listen to that, bro, I'm not believing in you because we already know you on some bullshit. And I mean, it's clear, man. Like you so far ahead, man. It's so far ahead of that bullshit, man. That shouldn't even be a fucking. He got this little thing, man, where he got to feel like, yo, like your hand in Tyson Fury's success ain't that big, bro. Tyson Fury made Tyson Fury successful. Tyson Fury could have went with anybody else in the world, shit, and he could have did that same shit, bro. Like it didn't take him much to fight a Safari and a Pianetta to get in a position to fight Deontay Wilder. He was already looking. The way he liked to pick out bums anyway, shit, he would have went ahead and found him. He would have been more than willing to accommodate all of the stuff that he was going through. And I mean, Frank Warren, you wouldn't have had no benefit in that, really. Like that's all on Tyson Fury, bro. At the end of the day, he chose you. He chose you. So don't even get above your britches, Holmes. Don't even get above your britches, Holmes, because I don't even think it's on you to even worry about that decision anyway. I think you should focus on what you got to focus on, and those things that you got to focus on is your motherfucking self. And that's all the way facts. A lot of soft as butter. Talking all of that ancestral power. Man, listen, man. Yo, 5 months ago. And it's so funny that Ishe did that shit. And I'm so glad that people catching on, bro, because how long I've been saying them clowns is CB4. All them niggas. I've been saying them niggas at CB4, been putting CB4 in so much of my material for the longest time, using it in the thumbnails, all of that. I'm so glad he used that because his voice stronger than mine. His voice stronger than mine. My voice kind of strong there too, though. You know what I mean? It ain't there. It ain't, you know, former IBF champion of the world strong, though. You know what I mean? What's up, champ? What's up, champ? My voice ain't that. You know what I mean? But I've been saying them niggas at CB4. Every single last one of them. Every single last one of them. MC Gusto type niggas, man. Every single last one of them. And look at them now. They all milk of magnesia, carbon copy weirdos. Weirdo type. Lunchroom, corner table, Dungeons and Dragons ass goofballs. Fuck out of here. Yo, the only ancestral power that man got, man, went as far back as, you know what I mean, a book he picked up in probably the 5th grade because he didn't even acknowledge that much reading because the motherfucker can't even talk that good. Let's be honest. You know, I'm almost everything he say at this point because this man has been so outlandish, irrational, like off his rocker, smelling himself, like he extra with it. So at that point, you know, when he say he hanging up the gloves, that would probably be one of the most realistic things he's saying at this point in this fucking life. That'd probably be the real rap. That'd be probably the most realistic thing. Like, yo, what is all of this talk, right? And shout out to Davey, man. Shout out to Davey, man, because he the one who sent me that in my comments, putting me up on that bullshit, bro. You know what I mean? It was so distasteful and disgusting, I couldn't even take most of it. And I heard everything I needed to hear anyway. But now your water spiked. What's your water spike with? Your water spike, then the gloves is loaded. So hold on. Ho, 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 ho. My bad. My bad. Ho, 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 ho. My bad. My bad. The gloves is spiked. The, the water spike. The gloves loaded. Before that, the gloves was down by the, you know, his knuckles was down in the wrist portion of the glove. I mean, god damn. What's going on? I mean, it's a new type of excuse on top of a new type of excuse on top of a new type of excuse. Like, yo, let's be serious. This guy's one of a kind, man. This guy's truly, he's a new gem in boxing, bro. And it's one that don't shine. It's one that don't shine. Some stinking ass limestone and some shit. Some goofy shit. This nigga's weird. Who backstage? Who says these things? Carlos Rosado, shout out, man. Appreciate you on the super chat, bro. Who says this type of stupid shit, man? These boys are super stupid. My man, Mr. Two Hands, been rocking with you for a minute. Hope the fam all is well, King. Fire. Man, everybody good, bro. Everybody good, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Memorial Day. You feel me? Hey, you feel me, y'all? It's Memorial Day. So fuck it. Let's get the cooking. Let's get the cooking. Grills open. Grills open. And I'm throwing all of these type weenie ass niggas on there and I'm frying the shit out of them. All of these Nathan's holiday weenie ass niggas. They goofballs. KCB. Man, it was something, bro. Look, hey, what I say on Twitter? I said that motherfucker water was spiked with water. His glove was loaded with a fucking glove. That's what it happened to him. That's what all the way happened to him. Man, we got to get past these new type fools we got running around here, man. Like y'all don't realize what y'all doing the boxing. Like once again, I got to go back to this shit because it's bubbling. You know, niggas it's like when I put the dummy to bed. When I put the dummy to bed, and know this, man, I don't like calling people no dummy, man, but I mean, I got to go off what this motherfucker done showed me, bro, and it ain't a lot. I mean, he showed me a lot, but it ain't a lot of good shit. Just saying, bro, you got to be a new type of fool if you want to endorse this type of stupidity, bro, but that's your king? That's your king? He want to give up on you on what? He want to give up on you on what? He want to give up on you on fucking what? One loss? But that's your king? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. And that's what these dummies and goof troops is doing to fucking boxing, bro. Talk about it. Talk about it. I'm gonna cement a stamp all in these niggas' forehead. Fucking faggots. Like, yo. This is where motherfucking most of boxing time is invested in. The other fucking top, this is the top news in boxing, I'm saying. And this is where the other top of the top news in boxing is invested at. It's motherfucking Mike Tyson coming back at the age of fucking 53. This man getting offers out the ass, bro, like he's a fucking draft round 1 pick rookie in baseball, bro. They just throwing him out there for this 53-year-old legend, bro, at the tender age of fucking 53, man, chilling, man, got weed farms, doing good, you know what I mean? Still trying to find this peace, man, you know what I mean? Hey, man, like, yo, and people really trying to take this serious, bro. Like, let's think about this. How many old heads y'all done heard about to come out of fucking retirement in the past 2 weeks? Well, however long that shit been going on. A lot. I mean, a lot of these dudes, man. Shannon Briggs, he all the way hyped, man. Look, he already hyped for no reason. Now y'all done gave Shannon Briggs a real reason to be amped up. A real reason to be, let's go, champ. Shout out to Shannon Briggs, man. Y'all done really gave Shannon Briggs to be amped up, man. Let's talk about it, man. So boxing ain't giving y'all nothing, so y'all got to get it in the form of my legend, man. Mike Tyson. So y'all got to get it in the form of my legend, Mike Tyson, bro. Man, don't do a real knockout king like that. Don't do a real knockout king like that. Let him retire. Let Mike Tyson be retired. We shouldn't be hearing about. We talking about Wilder. Like let's put this in perspective, yo. We talking about Wilder retiring and Mike Tyson fighting. This is boxing. Shit. Fuck, for the love of me. For the love of me, let's go, champ. Shout out KCB. Shout out Miguel Moica. Let's go, champ. Boxing Finesse, salute. I think what Wilder meant to say was his water broke. And he about to give, oh my God. Oh my God. Let me pin that up there. Let me pin that up there. That's a big smack in the face right there. Shout out to Boxing Finesse for that one, man. I love creative comments, man. Especially for this dumb duck ass nigga. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson ready to get 20. They trying to give bare knuckle boxing, trying to give Mike Tyson 20 million. And then you got this clown over here talking about retirement after catching this first L. The first real beating in life somebody held him to. Because you could tell by the way he conducted himself his whole career that he never took you know what I mean? He never took in one real bit of game from an adult that came before him, bro. When it came down to, you know what I'm saying, wins and losses, bro. He don't know nothing about being no sportsman, man. He don't know nothing about being no good teammate. He don't know nothing about no teamwork, none of that shit, bro. I mean, I understand what you did it for, but I mean, bro, there's certain things and certain responsibilities and shit that go along with sports, bro. He don't know nothing about none of them shits. He don't know nothing about the basic fundamentals that you carry along in sports with you, camaraderie, teamwork, whether you going against an op or not. You know what I mean? From the time that you start pop one all the way up or whatever in the amateurs, Golden Glove boxing, whatever you doing. So that just lets you know right there. That just lets you know right there. He's a whole different type of pussy, man. He's a whole different type of pussy. The first ass whooping somebody held him to in life, bro. Word of advice. Don't be almost 35 years old, bro. Don't be almost 35 years old and having nothing but yes men around you and nobody holding you accountable for the shit that you don't do, for the shit that you do. That you really shouldn't be doing. Don't keep none of them motherfuckers around you. Keep a whole bunch of niggas that's going to smack you upside the head with the truth. Because I promise you, the fall going to be way worse, bro. That's why you supposed to take them lumps when you young, stupid. Fucking water spike. Your water was spiked with water. What? They gave you Dasani? You ain't had a Fiji this time? Because you that type of pussy. Oh, yeah, he that type of pussy. He that type of pussy. I'm putting that on record. If his water was spiked, it's because they got him a Dasani water up out the Coca-Cola machine, and nobody rushed to the fucking store and got him no Fiji. Because he one of them type of fucking powder puff pussy type niggas, man. That's boxing. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck his ass up today. Or this very day. Let's get to it, man. Let's shout out to the comments real quick. I guarantee you now that that's shout out Paul Lindley. I guarantee that's Doris the Wilder. That's ripping right off. So you really don't wish that on him. Hey man, hey look, man. I don't know what you're trying to say right there, but repeat that. Maybe it's a typo or something. I guarantee you now that Doris that Wilder is with will rip him right off. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of typos. Got to move on to the next one. But shout out to Paul Lindley, though. Salute. KCB. Maybe he will play with his food. Man, maybe he will. Maybe he will. First real fight, first real ass whooping. On guard. On guard. Boxing Finesse. Famous now. Famous on the screen. Hey, you all the way lit right now. You all the way lit. The ratings is all the way up because your face is right there. And y'all don't ever fucking forget it. The ratings are all the way up right now because Boxing Finesse's face and comment is right there. On God and them. Shout out to Adrian Broner. That's why that nigga still hitting the track running, Jesse Owens. I remixed the shit out of his ass too. How's Wilder going to act? He can't form coherent thoughts. 6 foot-inch nails, man. Yo, that look, I had a girl run around for a whole week looking around for some 6 foot-inch nails, bad shit crazy, and I just couldn't find them. Just couldn't find them. They don't carry them shits at none of the hardware stores, man. Unicorn Tools Promotions. Hey, you know, you right, Carlos. You right. I can't blame Wilder, you know. I can't blame Wilder for that. I can't. You know what I mean? And I mean, his people being, yes, man, I held them. I definitely hold them responsible. Hold on, let me finish the comment. You can't hold Wilder for that. Blame his people around him who baby him. He's not smart enough to know he has the opportunity to get rich off his image. Damn. Yeah, he is dumb. I mean, he ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. You right. But at the same time, even the person, you don't even have to be the most book smart dude to know that, you know, the one person that you play close. I'm saying sometimes in some situations, yeah, you new type of stupid, bro. Like the type of business opportunities and the decisions you made when you just looking at your whole fucking life and none of that shit makes sense. And this is where the road has brought you to. Like, bro, he didn't even feel comfortable at his own event. At his own event. And like, yo, he was so lost. He was so lost. It took him to get to his own event. And if you watch the video where I had him, Malik Scott, and this trainer backstage before the I think it was the final press conference of the weigh-in, and they were saying something about like, this is all for you. This is all for you. And wasn't nobody there. It was probably it was probably a couple people that's from the PBC and maybe like a couple fans that was out there for Wilder. Really, nobody was there for him. So they was just gassing him. And I'm like, you looking around, bro, like there's nothing, yo, Malik Scott, that's supposed to be his homeboy. He took a dive for him and everything. We all know that. We all know that. Malik Scott is homeboy. He took a dive for him, everything. That was the one selling them all the bullshit. But bro, you couldn't even believe Malik Scott at that point. At that time, bro, everybody should be fired. The little dude that was standing next to him back there, he should be fired. All of them niggas. At no point can you sit there, bro, and tell me, man, yo, you build all of this when not a person in the audience is there for you and we standing on American soil. That is a fucking dud. You ain't got to be smart at all, fam, to know that you being fucking had and you're being lied to. Good all the way. Good night. Salute. My Fiji water was poison. Oh yeah? He the type of nigga that, yeah. I believe that.
Hey, what up? What up?
What up, though?
Two hands.
What's good?
How's it going, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. How you been, Red Glove?
I've been good. Just been busy and shit. You know, I saw you was live. Figured I'd come on here for a little bit. You know, and this is the new excuse. 4 months later, they still got to make excuses.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Like what do these guys have no life?
Oh wow.
Like even if you thought some shit happened for real, like do you not have a life? Like first off, this is a ridiculous one. Like these guys just can't get over the fact they thought this guy was invincible. No man, look, there's never been an invincible boxer. Okay, even if a boxer is undefeated, they're still not invincible. You know, like did Floyd Mayweather not have his, his eyes puffy and his lip busted and shit at the end of his fights? You know, the Rocky Marciano used to get the business all the time. You know,
Absolutely.
like these guys need to remember these men are exactly that. They're men. They're not gods. They're not Superman. They're not, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just that. It's cinematic. It ain't real. All right. They need to come to grips with reality that your guy might take an L. And does fucked up shit happen in boxing? It does. But come on now, these are all just fucking conspiracy theories. There ain't no proof to back any of this shit up. And all they're doing is making fools out of themselves and compromising their own integrity. That's all they're doing. They ain't exposing shit except for themselves.
This is what we doing in boxing now, Red Glove. This is what we doing in boxing. So now the water is spiked and the gloves is loaded. I mean, we talking about, they've remixed excuse on top of excuse on top of excuse. I mean, shit. Like, take the fucking words out of my mouth. And I'm a big mouth motherfucker with a lot of shit to say, man. It's fucking bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Like just when you thought that they've run out of excuses, they keep coming with more excuses. Like it's sad, really. Look, I'm a man. I like to lead by example. I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan. I wanted him to beat Floyd Mayweather like you wouldn't believe. But when everything was said and done, and then he made the excuse about the shoulder, I wasn't having it. It's like you lost. That's all there is to it. Stop making excuses. Like I wanted you to win more than just as much as any other Manny Pacquiao fan. But the guy beat you. That's just all there is to it. There's no shoulder, there's no nothing. If your shoulder was injured, then you should have tried to get it postponed or some shit. And I understand if Floyd Mayweather and the opportunity might not be there again, but you gotta do what's right. So I ain't having it with any excuses from any boxer, even if I like them.
Nah, I can't get with that. I, I can't get with that, bro. Like that, it's out of control. It's out of control. It's like the it's like I said, man. It shows your DNA, bro. It shows what you really made of, man. It shows what you really made of when the water spike, the gloves is loaded. That's the type of excuses that's running around behind you when you talking about you want to fucking retire, man. You're talking about you want to retire if you take your first loss. These are the thoughts that's coming in your mind. Never in a person's life, bro, when you losing anything or you failing something, anything in life, do you just hang it up and you just want to fucking quit. It just don't happen like that. It don't happen like that, man.
So he is contemplating retiring?
I don't know. I don't know I don't know if he's really thinking about it, but I mean, it seemed like the question was presented in a way as like, I, I could think about I could consider hanging it up. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put those words in his mouth. But if that's the case, if that's truly how you feel, if even you having those type of thoughts, if even you having those type of thoughts, that just lets me know what you made of, and you know what you got into when you got in that ring. That's just what that boils down to. You know what you got into when you got in the ring. But this is what I'm saying though, and nobody can refute this shit. If you would have just accepted the loss, welcome owning the fact that you got your ass kicked, none of that. Whatever would have came with that, this shit, it still wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, outweigh what you're going through right now, bro. You know what I mean? Like you could have rode off in the sunset saying, "Oh, I just got my ass whooped. You know, I'm gonna rebuild. I'm gonna come back." But all of these different excuses and everything like that, bro, that put that much more pressure on your shoulders, bro. It didn't help you out in any way, shape, or form, bro. That alpha bravado you carrying around, like yo, that's not helping you. It's not. And this is where it puts you. You really ready to break. And the fact that you can't leave your fucking house, really, I'm saying being quarantined probably ain't helping, bro. I mean, like you was gonna do a little bit of that, but I'm just saying, bro, you the last. Like, think about that too, fam. Like, he's the last fucking true ass whooping that the world got the rest of their eyes on when it came to boxing.
Yeah,
that's fucked. That's fucked.
And if he really is thinking about, like you said, like you're not putting words in his mouth, but I understand what you're saying. If that is the case, then I say go ahead and hang him up. Like what? Why should he stay in the sport if he ain't even really in it? You know what I'm saying? Like this is a dangerous sport. Last thing I want to see is a man just get his ass whooped unnecessarily. If you ain't mentally strong enough to handle this shit, then the last thing I want to do is see you get seriously injured just for a paycheck. Go ahead and get out of the sport. In my opinion, he wasn't helping the sport to begin with. He was holding up the heavyweight division. He was holding up the undisputed. Wouldn't give his number one contender a shot, no matter what the fuck he did. Gave him unrealistic, or I shouldn't say unrealistic, but he gave him basically try to assign him chores that he himself didn't even do. Like, what the hell does he look like telling Dillian White that he needs to beat a killer before he gets his title shot, when he got his title shot after beating Malik Scott and Jason Gabbard? What the fuck does that look like? It looks like bullshit
Man.
to me. That's what it looks like. So in my opinion, he wasn't even doing shit for the sport of boxing to begin with. So, bro, if you feel like you can't handle this, you wasn't doing shit anyways, go ahead and retire.
That's the fucking problem right there. When you running around with that fucking champion's fucking ego complex, but you have such a technical deficiency and true inferiority, like and truly inferior around most of your heavyweight class, like. But because you got that belt on your shoulder, see, that's the thing, right? Like, yo, how does a trinket let you get that fucked up in life, bro? A trinket shouldn't have you the way you like, yo, I get this belt on my shoulder, so now I can walk around like I'm the man or whatever. The little bit of extra camera exposure, bro, that don't really stop you from understanding that you really can get your ass whooped out here. Man, like, yo, he really sipped that sauce. Lesson learned, yo. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, because for real, you want to know what those dudes turn into? And I'm going to tell you, you turn into fucking Charles Martin, man. You turn into...
That's a very good analogy right there.
I ain't trying to
with that one.
I swear, man. Like I think laughing at my own self is kind of weird, but for real, man. Like you turn into Charles Martin when you do shit like that. For real, like look at you.
Hey, nobody's gonna get your sense of humor better than you will, but you hit the nail on the head with that one. Like Charles Martin, like just think about it. There's a guy who was talking about, I walk this world like a god. How do you walk this world like a god, but then you get sparked in 2 rounds by a guy who has less, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I'm just going off the top of my head. But if I'm not mistaken, he had more fights than Anthony Joshua at the time.
Hold on, Ray. Salute Tyrese Blue for a super chat. Go ahead, Ray. You good?
Yeah, I'm going off the top of my head, and I haven't kept up with Charles Martin since he lost. Or I should say, not to the fullest.
Okay, so basically, like, the most recent of Charles Martin's history as far as the boxing ring is concerned is, he just caught the win over, he caught the win off Gerald Washington. What round was that knockout in? I think it was it was on the Fury Wilder undercard, as a matter of fact. It was on the Fury Wilder undercard. And I mean, speaking on Charles Martin, I mean, for real though, I wasn't trying to like laugh. It threw me off because this dude, like, you really turned into my bad. You really turned into that guy. You really turned into that guy. You really turned into Charles Martin. Like, who can bet? How can you better describe Deontay Wilder like Charles Martin? He's a fucking former champion. He's a former heavyweight fucking champion of the fucking world. Had the ego complex. He walked around like a god and he just steps over niggas, man. And then, he caught the L. But the difference between Charles Martin is, I mean, he didn't get to avenge his L, but he came. I don't think it even mattered. He came back though, and he's still fighting right now. But he still got that same type of ego because I do believe I just saw in a fucking article earlier that fucking Charles Martin, of all people, is talking about he don't think Adam Kalinowski can bounce back after the loss from Robert Helenius.
Oh damn! To me, that just sounds like sour grapes. He's probably saying that because he lost to Kalinowski. You always got to consider whose mouth these words are coming out of. If it's a guy,
right?
Yeah, if it's a guy that he lost to, there's a good chance there's sour grapes there. But what I think is kind of ironic. All right, so you had all these Wilder fanboys who were hating on Anthony Joshua hard, hating. All right, when he lost, they said there's no way he could bounce back. All this stuff. All right, now fast forward, he regained his titles, and now their guy took an L. They want to compare his loss to. They want to say that he could. They want him to be like Anthony Joshua now, bounce back from his loss and regain his title. All of a sudden, this guy that they've been calling a bitch and a pussy and Juicy J and all this shit for years now. All of a sudden, this is the guy that they want their king to be like. All of a sudden, come on now, these guys are just clowns. Like, you got to keep it real. That's why above all, you got to keep your integrity intact, because at the end of the day, when Deontay Wilder retires and all this shit, and if you're still on YouTube, you know what people are gonna remember? You're that dude who don't got integrity. And Deontay Wilder will be living, a nice life with the money that he did make during his career, while you're there trying to convince everybody why you still have your integrity. If you just keep it intact while all this shit's going on, you won't have to defend shit, because your resume will speak for itself.
Man, I think like the PVC like really does something to these dudes, man. Like, for real, it's fucking these niggas up, man. Think about it. Look at what it's doing to Deontay Wilder right now. And look at how Charles Martin running around this motherfucker talking about Adam Kalinowski right now, man. He should be ashamed of himself, man. The way that nigga took you out, man, he dusted you off in a smooth couple rounds, bro. Like, he knocked you out too. Like, so, like, yo, come on, fam. Come on, fam. Like, you was there, you was on that, you know what I mean? Like, you was on the undercard in the co-main event to Fury Wilder, bro. And you had the blubber guts out there. You feeling yourself. You walking around like, he got the championship pedigree right now. He said he gonna return the championship status, bro. Man, I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Oh, and other news too. Danny Swift Garcia. Danny Six Toe. Swift Garcia. Yeah, man. He said fucking if Errol Spence ain't right, man, he just needs to stay out the way for real. What you think of that?
Well, I'll give you my thoughts real quick, and then I'm gonna jump off. But I mean, when it comes to Danny Garcia, I don't know. Like, he could be right, but to me, Errol Spence been talking more sense, more sense than he's ever had, in recent times. So I don't know. I kind of would like to see what he looked like in his first fight back before I were to make that assumption. However, he was in a bad accident, so that could very well be the case. The I think that this virus stopping all sporting events was a blessing in disguise because he wanted to be in there in July, and you got to keep in mind he was thrown from his car with the top down, not wearing a seatbelt, going over 100 miles an hour. He definitely needed this time to, even if not to reflect, just his physical body. He just needed to have this time to recover. So I'm not gonna say that Danny Garcia is right or wrong. He may be saying the right thing. We don't know because we got to see how Spence is, but I don't think it's coming from the right place. I think his, I think Danny Garcia has a little bit of an ego problem. A lot of that is due to his dad, and
Actually, actually, you was your reasons being was exactly why Danny Garcia was saying it, because it came out in a recent article that Terrence Crawford was saying that he wouldn't want to be Errol Spence's first opponent coming back, because you already know, with it being after the car accident and everything, he doesn't feel as though he would get proper credit. And Danny Garcia is basically saying that in a sense of what you saying, but then at the same time, on the other hand, he's saying too that like, yo, if I beat your ass, man, or when I beat your ass, basically, I don't want to hear no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Because like the car accident is not going to be no excuse. You said you were 100%. You chose to come back. First opponent or not, you're gonna have to hold the L. And he wants to have full. He expects to get full credit for it. But I mean, realistically, let's be honest here. I don't think the public will give no Danny Garcia no credit, or I don't think it will give pretty much anybody who get the proper credit fighting that man after he got tossed out of the Ferrari, especially not his fans.
yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, even if he were to lose legitimately, I mean, they probably would do the same thing that they do with Deontay Wilder because they think that these guys are invincible. It's like these guys think it's a fairy tale or something. Like these are two guys going in there trying to beat each other's ass. And my dad, growing up, my dad had a saying that he always used to tell me: remember, an ass whooping always goes both ways. Just like you throwing punches, that other guy's throwing punches too. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the WWE. This is where things are preset. That the outcome is already predetermined. These are two guys going into a real contest, and this is the hurt business. So, but yeah, I think I haven't heard the interview or read the article or anything, but based off of what you're telling me, and yeah, I gotta agree. With Danny, I actually agree with everything that Danny Garcia said. Like if he decides to sign that contract, there better not be no excuses about the car accident. He's saying he's 100%. He himself said he didn't want a tune-up. So whatever his first fight is back, whatever happens in that fight, or even after that, whatever fight, it's his career to manage. So if he takes a fight and then he gets his ass whooped, well, that guy was either the better man or he didn't do what he was supposed to do to win that fight. So, but that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. But uh, I'm glad to see that you got super chats enabled. You deserve it. Anybody who has the means to do so, support Mr. Two Hands Up. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe, and all that good stuff because he puts in a lot of work.
Appreciate you coming through, Holmes. As always, appreciate you, Red Glove. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's everybody like and sub, man. That's the most important, man. I appreciate those that do choose the super chat, but that's never been an obligation. Shit, I only go live every so often anyway. So,
All right, well, peace, Mr. Two Hands Up. Take care.
all
Be
right, peace.
safe.
All right, peace. Yeah, man. So yeah, like for real, like Danny Garcia, like I understand, but I mean, given his circumstances, like people, he gonna get the type of bullshit he gonna get anyway. And Charles D, I 1000% feel you. That motherfucker should be fighting Bud Crawford right now because on paper, realistically, we got to look at it for what it is. Danny Garcia is number 1 in the WBO. He really was only ranked number 2 or number 3 in the WBC. He was ranked in the top 3 in all sanctioning bodies, but he was number 1 in the WBO. But he didn't even want nothing to do with the Terrence Crawford match. Every time it came to talking about that, it said anything could be possible. When it comes to everybody around talking about Terrence Crawford, anything could be possible, except when it came, Eugenius Ugas wants to fight. Speaking of Eugenius Ugas is the rightful person who should be fighting for the WBC right now. He was moved out of the number 1 ranking in the WBC, so he should be pounding on Errol Spence or, be pounding on whoever is in who's holding that belt. But I'm just saying, that's just the funny style games they play. Like Bud Crawford isn't gonna get a fair shake. So it's kind of like it's kind of asinine, and it kind of begs me the question to ask motherfuckers this. It's like, how do you sit there and what's up, Mob? It's like, how
What's
do you
up,
sit up
bro?
there and say, I Terrence Crawford's resume is thin. I want Terrence Crawford to do X, Y, and Z when you already know that the options aren't available to X, Y, and Z. But when you look around what options are available, he fighting the best possible options, the best possible opposition that he can, and he's doing it in spectacular fashion. Now, the other guys aren't gonna move. That's on them. I'm just saying, this whole situation is weird, and it takes a real champion even to be able to notice to say that, like, hey, I ain't gonna be this guy, first fight coming off a car accident. That's a real fighter, bro. Like, who really wants to fucking fight the guy that has been wounded, or the one that is coming into the battle with advantage? You real warriors don't get strikes like that. So I can understand where Terrence Crawford is coming from. Danny Garcia is going, one in any way he can get it. To be perfectly honest, but I mean, realistically, what is his respect based on? Because at 147, he really doesn't have that much respect. So when I say that in Danny Garcia's regard, I'm like, what has Danny Garcia done in 147 to where he getting put up on this pedestal where he should be fighting? Errol, he doesn't even have a belt. So it's just a whole bunch of sucker shit going on in boxing. And I ain't never gonna allow nobody to let me chalk that shit up to saying it's a sanctioning body because I just don't believe in that shit.
Right, right. Well, Danny, they're giving him a lot of credit because of the losses versus the two of the top fighters, which is Spence and Porter and fucking Thurman. So that's where all the credit is coming from. But on the fact that you fought them for $2 million and you didn't want to accept $3 million is the whole thing with Danny Garcia with me and the Crawford situation. And if you really wanted to fight and felt like that wasn't enough money, why didn't you come back with a counter offer? You feel me? If you really wanted to fight.
Yeah, and I just think that's what it boils down to. 1-2 kids for me. He's just the guy that I just think that's just in that division right now. I mean, to be perfectly honest, man, that division is just becoming stale. It's becoming stale because if I'm looking at things that aren't making no sense, and I'm looking at and I'm looking at the fighters that really got potential. It's like all of the great fight. I mean, all of the fighters that I think have the potential to be great fighters or have the potential to make great careers out of them, out of they box, make great boxing careers in the 147 weight class, I should say. They're not getting the opportunities to fight because people are fearful of it. So it's like, hey, we got to move. We can't keep having this whole move up theory and things of that nature, because that's becoming a problem. And a lot of these weight classes, it really don't matter. Like, we can't have them type of politics, populating. But as far as 147's concerned, it just seemed like, like Ugas, like I said, Ugas, he's got fucked out opportunities, even though, like he didn't get. And I still feel like he should have did just a little bit more in the Sean Porter fight to truly stamp it. Like, there was nothing left for this debate, up for discussion or anything. Like, if he would have pressed the attack more, like, he didn't push the attack if he would have just pushed the attack a little bit more, I don't think it would have been up for discussion. But even though he had his WBC shot, I'm just saying this is what it is. It's not really an exciting division in boxing right now. So
it's a lot of good matches. It's just that we're not getting them. Like I like Josh Kelly, you know, I like Rashid Ellis. You feel me? Ortiz, Enes. It's a lot of Ugas. It's a lot of good dudes at 147. It's just that we're not getting that action. You feel me? So it's looking stagnant because we're not getting the action. It's hella action there if they would just make the fights. But I feel what you're saying based off of what we've been presented. Yeah, it's looking stagnant, but it is fighters there that we can match up. That's some good matches.
That's a fact.
Go ahead, one, two.
That's a fact, though, Mob. And I wanted to be up here with Red too. Then I'd be next to like two of the best content creators. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say there's so much talent at 147, and the fact that the fights can't be made is telling you everything. It's like they trying to put these guys in with these like they got. We'll take Porter for instance. Porter's getting the big fights, but I think they really trying to chip away at Porter by doing so. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to really put a title on him. They just want him to be a title holder. You know what I'm saying? I don't think how many times he been like kind of, you know, where they kind of just didn't give him the title, you know, and he deserved it. I mean, who hasn't this guy really fought in the welterweight division? Who hasn't he made an attempt to get in the ring with? With him and Bud, I get it, but they should still get it on. But why does Bud have to fight a Porter when these other champions are there to get it in? You know what I mean? And then you got these guys like Thurman who are talking like they champions still, and it's like you ain't a champ, man. You not the champ no more. And Danny, like, nah, man, how are you passing up title shots? Like it's defeating the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish or what boxing's about. You know what I'm saying?
It almost seems to me like, you know, and I've always said that, and I've always told people straight up how I felt about Shawn Porter. You know, like the guy, respect him, but, you know, I don't rate him that high as everybody else does, you know, but I respect the guy. But I've always felt like the PBC never valued him high as like really having high marketable marquee value, but he's a guy that, you know, they could run around, throw him in a good fight, make a good showcase out of him, make a good fight with Shawn Porter, put him in with this guy and that guy, use him as like a segue to like elevate whoever else they were trying to use. Like they're not gonna throw Shawn away to just anybody. They're gonna give him to the guy that they want to boost up above Shawn Porter's stature, that can kind of really bust through that ceiling of what they feel stardom should be or whatever. Like they always, you know, use Shawn Porter like that. And I think that's what's going on with boxing in a sense. In a lot of weight classes, kind of like they got this whole little busybody theory. Put it on the public to where you say right now, you know, you want to see two certain guys fight. Don't have to be Terrence Crawford. And shit, it could be like, for me, like Miguel Burchelt and Jamel Herring. You know, it could be like, just talk about. Let's talk about Carl. Let's talk about Carl Frampton. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Frampton instead of talking about Burchelt or whatever. Put his mind there and put the people's mind there, so that way while they focus on Frampton, we can do whatever we want to do with Burchelt and keep him off Herring or whatever, and move him around the way they want to move him around. Like for Oscar Valdez, because they might have a plan for Oscar Valdez or whatever. But I'm just saying, that's that same theory that they do with everybody. Put this boxer on the mind of the people and say he should fight him, like in Terrence Crawford's case right now. Say he should fight Shawn Porter. And that way, you know, if we get the people swayed to like, oh yeah, he's got to fight Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter just went life or death with Errol. It makes sense to keep the fucking conversation there so they could do whatever the fuck they really want to do with Errol with this Danny Garcia shit. I'm done. Go ahead. Whoever next.
I think that if the promotions got a problem, like when they talk about Shawn Porter not selling or Bud not selling, it's like they perform in the ring. That's their job. It's the promoter's job to sell the fucking fight. So if you ain't promoting them right and they ain't making the proper money and they're saying, well, this guy ain't really generating this amount, then that's your fault. Because you getting the cut. to promote the motherfucker. So you ain't doing your job. So I think Bob need to step his game up with Bud, and the PBC need to step their game up with Sean Porter, because I ain't never seen those guys in boring fights.
Well, when it comes to Crawford and Bud, it's pretty much like this. In order for Crawford to get the type of publicity that we looking for him to get and that we feel like he deserved to get, he's not gonna get that unless he do fight one of them top fighters. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
Right. Well, it's up to his promoter to make that happen, though.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, when you, like I said, it brings back to the Danny Garcia situation. If you sending these motherfuckers offers and they don't even want to acknowledge the offers, I mean, what do you expect to do at that point? You feel me? And like I said, if you feel like it's not enough money and they don't want to counter offer, that kind of puts you into a corner where you don't have really, bro, if I can't sell you nothing and you don't want to buy no product from me, what the fuck do you expect for me to do? I'm gonna have to take my product to another customer. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't want to be my customer, I'm gonna have to go get another customer. And that's pretty much where he stands at right now. He's trying to find the best customer that he can to please us as fans in general. You feel me? Not us as particular, because we already feel like he's doing what he need to do. But we just talking about the casual fans and to bring in the whole general perspective of boxing. Everybody's not on the same page as us, because you got them people that's still out there like, well, he ain't fought nobody. Well, have you looked at the situation at hand? The situation at hand is that these motherfuckers don't want to sign no contract. The situation at hand is that these motherfuckers is asking for more money than they fought in their other championships. That's the fact at hand. But people don't look at the whole pot and the whole situation.
Right. But my only thing on that is, of course, that's how we feel about it. But as a promoter, you have to make sacrifices the same way the fighters have to make sacrifices. And you make certain sacrifices, and it may seem like you're losing at first, but it pays off in the end. So if you believe in this fighter like you say you do, you need to go ahead and do that. I mean, I see him back in other guys a little bit.
That's why they try to put all. I think that's why they try to put all that. They talked about that Conor McGregor shit. I think that was more to put him on the map. A little bit more than just boxing. But I mean, I feel what you're saying. If I was the promoter and I can't get no fights, I mean, I would have this motherfucking commercials, have him on ESPN a little bit more, maybe have him be a co-host of Max Kellerman on that boxing show. I mean, there's different avenues that you may be able to take to pump his name up more. But like I said, you talking about somebody who hasn't done that. You feel me? Bob ain't really done that outside of Mayweather. Has only really promoted himself outside of the boxing ring like that. But Bob is more so promoting you in the sport of boxing as opposed to throwing you on a Subway commercial, maybe throwing you on a motherfucking GMC commercial, maybe driving the new motherfucking Ferrari. You feel what I'm saying? You know Terrence Crawford like cars, so I mean, you could put him in a couple of commercials for new cars that's coming out. I mean, it's a lot of different.
That's all I'm saying, Mob, is I don't see the same effort. You know what I mean? I
feel you. But look at it this way. Bob ain't never did that really for nobody. You feel what I'm saying? Not even Lomachenko. You feel me?
That and the problem with that is because it's like you got to weigh it out. You got to look at it like this. Is it worth putting that type of marketing machine behind that type of fighter right now, generating what he's generating? So when they looking at that shit, they looking like, that might be too much of an investment. So they kind of, it's almost like boxing presents itself kind of like, in a sense, it's kind of like has a 360 mentality, kind of like where you kind of independent in the sense of you got to build up. You get that push, you get the push through a promotion to where you get more eyes on you. But to be that star to where you getting that type of that major marquee promotion, you got to kind of push yourself through there, kind of like all of the other big guys. You know what I mean? Like the other big fighters, man. Shit, it's hard.
I look at it like
because
this.
look at it like this. We had the biggest fight in heavyweight division in the last 10 years or some shit like that since fucking Tyson and Lennox Lewis, and they didn't even break even. You feel what I'm saying? The biggest fight that we done had in boxing in a long time, they didn't even break even. So just to piggyback on what Two Hands said, it's gonna take a lot for people to invest into fighters the way that, you know, I feel what you're saying, to invest into the fighter like that. We're gonna have to see some type of revenue coming in to where we can start at least breaking even with some of these fights. You feel what I'm saying?
I look
Enough
at it
for
like
them
you
to
gotta
want to
make
invest.
it. You gotta make the
Yeah.
revenue. I mean, because when you have guys like Pacquiao, he was pushing Pacquiao. I remember him saying how great he was and just all over the place. You see Pacquiao here, Pacquiao there, Pacquiao. And he pushed him, but Pacquiao did most of the work. So what I'm trying to say is like, but because people was gravitating to him, what I'm trying to say is how talented of a promoter is he really if he can't take a guy with that type of talent and get this guy to where he need to be, or how much attention
that was the
is
first
he
time
giving
we
him?
ever seen somebody like Pacquiao too, though.
Yeah,
You gotta
and
admit
Pacquiao,
that was a one in a time generation type thing. You feel me? We never seen that before. We never seen him
Pacquiao came in a time where that era in boxing was still plentiful with stars and that were that were doing his thing around him too. Right, he had an arch villain.
Right.
You know, boxing had that. It was plentiful. Now it's just like, bro, it's like slim pickings when you talk about the stars in boxing. Boxing went from being the biggest marketing freaking sport, like the 80s and all of that shit, all the way up to now, where it was like boxing was on during the fucking week. You know what I mean? Now to boxing going to where it's like being belittled to where it's like you can only look forward on a Saturday. If I'm going to watch boxing in certain regions, I'm watching that shit in foreign languages that I've never fucking heard before. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just that it's just been it's not the same as far as like the star power, the eyes and shit like
if this what you're gonna do it all the way. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it halfway and turn around, because as soon as like Manny got old, he wrote Manny off.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Power was gone.
Now look at him
star
now.
Power was gone.
See, this is why I look at Bob. I can't really shit on Bob Arum, because I look at it like this. In boxing right now, it's all about opportunity. And being Bob Arum, you had to see the opportunity to see what you saw in Tyson Fury and in heavyweight boxing at that time. You already, you know what I'm saying, you knew he came off of fighting Deontay Wilder, and he didn't have no major broadcast network contract and nothing like that. You pick him up. You pick him up, give him that big deal. He goes back in and fights Deontay Wilder again. That heavyweight spectacle, considering heavyweight boxing, made Tyson Fury a champion. They did that huge gate. Now Tyson Fury is a huge star. So in Bob Arum's regard, Fury about to pay off in a major way when it comes down to fighting Anthony Joshua, if that happens twice, Deontay Wilder, or whatever the case may be. Tyson Fury's a star in America now, and not only there, he's a star in his own country too. So now he's global. So it's like he ain't, you know what I mean? It's just, but that's just a different circumstance in a division where it's the most popular division and the division with the most eyes on it. He capitalized on that. It's like right now, it's like with Buzz Crawford division, he don't really have no control over that. He knew that he could work that angle. It's like with Errol Spence, with fucking Manny Pacquiao, with those guys, you don't even know if Bud Crawford even going to have those chances to have those nemesis or that other name that's going to make him a big name star. He might not be able to be anything bigger than what boxing and the love that people in boxing have for him right now. And that might not even be honestly his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's no cash cow right there.
Y'all gotta be fair though. There was a buzz around Tyson Fury before Bob picked him up. Whether you loved him or hated him, you know what I mean? People was gonna tune in. And when all I'm saying is you can create a buzz around somebody, and I just don't feel like he's giving it enough. That's all. That's the only point I was trying to make.
I feel what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this though. At the current climate of what heavyweight boxing was, and after coming off how PBC really didn't take Tyson Fury, PBC took something and they tried to make something bubble. They tried to do something with Deontay Wilder with Tyson Fury that they couldn't do at that given time, where ESPN and PBC made that second event happen. Now Tyson Fury is a major star. They the one who put up that $100 million and got Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, at that time, Deontay Wilder's available. Anthony Joshua was going to be available to him. Bud Crawford doesn't have Manny Pacquiao available. He don't have Errol Spence available. Like, we know that Tyson Fury has that, and he already now that star power has been magnified. Like, you can, if you're a marketer in business, if you're in marketing and business and anything like that, it's like realistically, if you're putting money into this guy and it's coming out of your pocket 1-2, it's like realistically, how much money are you dumping into this individual if he still don't have the necessary talent around him to, you know, bring people in to still make him a star and all that shit? How much are you going to do that's going to throw you in the red? I think like he just forced in a position to where you can't do nothing. Like unless two people got to be willing to play ball.
At heavyweight, they have Anthony Joshua. So Tyson Fury has a big star there in order to bring in the gates as well as the pay-per-view, along with whoever is around Canelo's weight cut. Other than Manny Pacquiao, Terence Crawford doesn't have that, not at 154 and not at 147 outside of Manny Pacquiao. Now, if Pacquiao ended up retiring before Terence Crawford ended up getting that chance, I just don't see him being a star, no matter how much money that they dump into him, because there's nobody else there who's going to bring in that type of audience like Pacquiao. I mean, it's just facts. You feel me? There's nobody else. You feel me? You may be able to get 500,000 if you put Mikey Garcia in there with him, but other than that, I just don't see him breaking that 800,000 mark, 900,000 mark, or $1 million. You feel me? I just don't see nobody. Not even. Not
you want to know the problem with Bud Crawford, honestly, and I've said it, and I'm gonna continue to say it. And it's one simple problem that motherfuckers could really solve if they want to solve it, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. They just need to make the fucking fight. Errol Spence team and Buzz Crawford's team need to be willing to make the fight. And both of them motherfuckers would be mega stars. They could fucking have, who knows, it could go on to fucking be a trilogy. Who knows, but regardless, that's the one fucking super villain to fucking, that's the one Joker, the Joker's Batman, the fucking Superman's Doomsday. That's what they are to one another. And that's what they are to boxing right now. And it honestly depends. Those guys should be, one of those guys should be the star in boxing right now. They should be that future star. They should be that star right now. But until that fight happens, or if that fight don't happen, it's not going to happen for them.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, put more pressure on the PBC to make that fight happen. You know what I mean? Go out there and say, this guy's injured. This dude coming off this. These guys are light. This is the champ. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to go your own way. You know what I'm saying? Like they're attempting to do, but I just don't think they pushing it enough. Like, you know what I mean? Create some buzz around the man. Get the man up, because he ain't all that great with interviews. You know, he ain't that talkative. I get that. So what you do is you create that energy around him, and then it picks up momentum, and then it carries on. And then people say, oh, I want to see this guy fight this guy. You know what I'm saying? Not just the hardcore fans, but the casuals. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh man, we got to see these guys hit. That's all I'm saying, is just push a little harder. And it usually pays off. You know what I mean?
I agree. But like, honestly, like the push has to be fucking such an outcry from fucking the media, from fucking like the fans, from the people to want to see that fight, to really force that fight in existence. Is like, that's the only way it seems like it'll happen, right? Like, because I feel like in a position, I feel like at the point to where that fight was in a position to where it could have been something, Terence Crawford would have continued to have to play the bad guy and beat on this motherfucker in social media and the public constantly to push him in the ring to where he's like, yo, the other fighters like, make the fucking fight. You know, it has to be that way or it's not going to happen. It's kind of like on that Rocky movie when, you know what I'm saying, when they was trying to make, when Rocky fucking put up the good fight. When Rocky put up the good fight against fucking Apollo Creed and shit like that, and then he faked the whole shit, and then he had to fight that nigga again and forced him out by pulling the bullshit or whatever, like by playing the bad guy. It's like he almost had to continue doing that. But when he fell back and stopped doing it, saying we cool and all of this shit, it slowed down the momentum of it because it changed the conversation. Now the conversation is back to what it's been. And fuck.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. That's just my honest opinion. I think that Pacquiao might fight 2 more fights, and it's not gonna be Terence Crawford. I think he's gonna fight Danny, then maybe turn around and drop the belt or retire, and then that belt is gonna go into some type of fucking vacant championship match, maybe versus Ugas versus somebody else, because I think Ugas is the next in line. And then we're going to get another year of stallment. You feel me? I'm telling you, watch. Terrence Crawford said he's retiring at 35 years old, no later than 36. That's in 2 to 3 years. He's only averaging 2 fights a year. That gives him a minimum of maybe 5 fights, maybe. And you got to put 2 mandatories in there because I don't see PBC putting him into back-to-back unifications or even a unification no time soon. So just look for 2 mandatories out of the 5 fights that I tell y'all. That leaves him down to 3 fights that he may be able to get big fights in. So he don't got that much time.
Well, it looked like Floyd coming back. It looked like Floyd might be coming back, and I guess people getting too much focus put on him. He need their focus. So he looked like he coming back. So that's gonna mix up the welterweight division if he come back. So
him and Gervonta Davis is going at it right now. So I'm interested to see how that situation is gonna play itself out. Because if Gervonta Davis end up getting dropped from TMT or end up quitting, it's gonna be interesting to see how his path
drop his little Cabbage Patch fat ass for real. Just let that motherfucker
go.
That nigga ain't nothing but a problem. It's like, bro.
Tweets. Like fuck Mayweather, fuck promote.
I don't care what you say, bro. At the end of the day, when you start messing with a broad that you know what I'm saying, like that your boss used to mess with or whatever, or one of his, I don't care if it's a side piece or whatever, you start messing with that joint, man, your boss gonna feel some type of way. Who knows what he could be saying behind? You know, he already saying this stuff in the open. Who knows just how disrespectful that little motherfucker is behind closed doors? He can't get himself together. So all of these signs is leading to like Gervonta Davis, man. He putting himself in a position where it's like, yo, you ain't about to do nothing but get chastised, bro.
He mad because Mayweather was just like, fuck it, bro. You don't want to work hard like I did, so I'm gonna train a nigga who want to work hard. So fuck it.
All it boils down to. All it boils down to. And I can't feel bad for individuals.
Jealousy, man. Jealousy is killing niggas today, bro. Jealousy is killing motherfuckers today. That's all it is.
You got a dude that had to go up 2 weight classes because he didn't want to put in any freaking work, and then you mad at him for working with a kid that he's been training and his uncle's been training since he was damn near 7, 8 years old, and he always puts in work. Don't be mad. Get your fat ass up out of Sonic and go put in work, bro. Like you're the people, man. Look, man. The street people know what's being said in the streets, man, in these social media streets, bro. Like, it's no joke that this man, everybody knows he's the laughing stock of boxing right now. Everybody.
Why would you call out Mayweather though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why would you call out him to a fight? Like, for real? Like, man,
that's because he's young. No accountability, don't know how to handle his emotions. Period. When you young in the game, he's stupid, he's jealous. He a whole lot of things right now.
Mayweather, man, you got about 4 dudes in the weight class that you promoting that right now who will give you the work. That I feel like that'll give him the work.
You barely got by Gamboa with a broken leg. What the fuck you gonna do?
And
with
you
a
supposed to
Mayweather?
go in there? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. It's four tycoons right there in that weight class that you in that'll give you the work.
One of the most
I feel like Ryan to give him the work right now. T.O. give him the work right now. Haney will give him the work right now. Loma give him the work right now. I even kind of feel like Felix Verdejo might even give him the work based off of what I seen him do versus Gamboa.
Man, look, man. Hey, I see nothing but dark times for motherfucking Tank, and that's not nothing I'm wishing on it, man. I just look at patterns of behavior right now, and all of this shit is saying right now is, bro, you focusing on all the wrong things, and it may be some alcohol in it or something, man. I don't know. Who knows what you got going on in your spare time, bro? Because when people be doing wild, outlandish outbursts and biting the hand that feeds you and stuff like that, especially in the position you in, bro, it's probably something that's helping do that shit. Like,
if he go 12 rounds with Leo, it's a wrap, bro. Yeah, it's a wrap.
And come on, man. He moved up and he couldn't even make weight. How he gonna move down and make weight? You know,
shit, that's what I'm saying. He might lose to the skill.
Oh shit, my phone down. Fuck.
Shit, might lose to McDonald's, man. He gotta let that shit go, man. Like, shit. Go ahead and get out there and start running, man. Let that shit go. Let that party life go. Let that fast food go. Get out there, get in shape, and pave your own way.
So is we getting this TO in Loma in September or what? Because I'm hearing September, I'm hearing October.
You like, I got money out there. That shit gotta come back to me.
Fuck, bro. Can we come? But I did hear that football is going to happen. So they just don't know if they're gonna start it on that date of the September date that they got. But the dude at the casino told me, he was like, they definitely gonna have a season. So they had a meeting in the conference. So they gonna do it. They might do it without fans, or they might separate fans. They still trying to figure out that part, but it's definitely gonna be a season. So with that being said, I definitely see we're gonna be having some boxing. They're gonna start doing some events out here.
I was so hyped for that fight, more so than the Tyson Fury Wilder fight. You know what I mean? I was so
LA, Florida, or Vegas for that Teofimo fight. So hopefully.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. If
they come out here, I'm gonna go. Fuck it. I'm gonna just go ahead and spend that little $600-700. Give me a ticket. Nice little seat. If it is in LA, I'll go too. But if it's in Florida, I'll just watch it on the TV. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm gonna watch that shit on TV and hope to collect my money.
Shit. You already know I'm gonna be waiting.
We
in front of the screen.
We rooting for two opposition though.
Shit. I'm $4,000 away, homie, from getting my razor. I told niggas, man, that's my new toy I want this year. 18 bands. I need it. So I'm working towards it.
Well, if you get it, man, shit, congratulations on getting
it, man. Together. I told y'all, man, when y'all come out to Vegas, man, we're gonna get out here in the sand in the desert, and we're gonna rip this road. Now that they said I can put the street legal and put the kit on there and get it out, man. Yeah. And we're gonna hit the strip with it. Put this kit on there, have it going 400, put 400 horses on it. You feel me?
I hear you, man. Shit. I had to give up my nice whip, man. I had to give it up and was like, and, you know, family getting too big, man. Can't fit in that.
Yeah, that's why. That's pretty much why I wanted to get it. I sold my quad and my dirt bike, so I'm gonna get my daughter's one, the little go-kart one, and then my son. I'm gonna get him a new quad, and then fuck around, turn around, get that 2 X3 Maverick Can-Am. Yeah, they should have something to do with the family, man. Tired of going to the movies, the park and shit.
Mm-hmm. I got
talking about riding?
Yeah, talking about riding.
Yeah, getting one of them razors.
Oh yeah, them joints.
The UTVs.
Yeah. Shit, I just got my fucking. Just got my nephew fucking start a fucking ATV just fucking last weekend and shit. Got him a little Polaris 90 and shit.
The motherfuckers is fun, bro.
They be having fun and shit. Made them trails in the backyard and shit. Yeah. I got motherfucking. I got a 350.
No shit.
Yeah. All I do is ride. I got a 350, motherfucking. I gotta fucking change the goddamn. I gotta change the fucking throttle cable on my fucking CR125. I snapped shit out that bitch.
my brother always
down. See, we gotta go to Glamis.
Mm-hmm.
My brother always trying to get me to get a bike, man. I'm like, nah, man, I'm too dangerous. I'm too dangerous, man.
Yeah, you got to get you one of them UTVs, man. That's what all the old folks is doing. You know, it's easier on their body compared to
you can hop that jump up high. You can drive it. It's basically like a fucking car.
Man, I seen the motherfucker get it up to 600 horsepower.
Oh yeah, they move.
170, 190 on the sand.
Yeah, niggas putting turbos on them bitches, all types of shit. Turbos, supercharged, motherfuckers be doing all types of wild shit.
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 0 to 60 seconds on the concrete and 3.68 seconds.
Those some G's right there.
You
Yeah, Turbo
Hell
2.
yeah.
Rainbow Turbo
Look,
2.
man, I'm keeping 100. I'm about to shut this bitch down. I got a fucking headache, man. So we just gonna go ahead and close this bitch out.
For
Thanks
sure,
for
man.
having
I'm
me
gonna
on,
catch you on
Black.
the next one.
Oh no, yeah, most definitely, man.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me on,
everybody
man.
for stopping through, man. 100.
Y'all take it
Thanks,
easy.
man. Later, Mob. Later,
Yeah.
Two Hands.
All right, y'all be easy.